What's going on, dudes? So we've got a lot of wind blowing this week, some rain coming in. Decided not to fish today, and I wanted to stay in and just go over some things with you. So I'm going to start this video by talking about lure selection, and I'm going to give you the top 5 best inshore lures, in my opinion, ever made, and the top 5 that I never leave home without. And then I'm going to do a subscriber giveaway. So I've got a lot of good information coming your way, so stay tuned. So before I share with you my top favorite inshore lures, I just want to talk about lures for a minute. Lure selection can be the most overanalyzed thing in fishing, and it can really cause more harm than good when you think too much about lure selection. It kind of goes like this. In terms of fishing in general, okay, 90% of your fish live in 10% of the water. So I don't care what lure you're using, how skilled you are at fishing, if you don't know the 10% of the water that holds the 90% of the fish, then everything else is irrelevant. So you can take a less skilled fisherman who doesn't have any idea about lure selection, and if he knows where the fish live, he's going to catch more fish than somebody who's an extremely skilled fisherman who doesn't know where the fish live. So it's all about location. You hear a lot of times in fishing, location, location, location. That is very, very true. So how do you learn where the 10% of the water is that the 90% of the fish live? One of the best ways is time on the water. What time on the water brings you is the process of elimination. You're eliminating bad water. And that's one advantage that I have as a guide. I'm always on the water. So I've eliminated all the bad water, so I go straight to the good water, and you're more successful. So let's get back to lure selection now. And you see these people that think, that analyze lure selection so much. They'll have 20 or 30 or 40 different lures in their tackle box, when in reality they should have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 at the most. And the most important thing when selecting a lure is having confidence in the lure that you're selecting. So let's start with lure number 1. And this lure right here is probably one of the most popular in the last 3 years. It's probably became the most popular inshore lure on the market. This lure is made by MirrOlure, and it's called the Mirrodine. Here it is right here. Check out the Mirrodine. Now, this is always a go-to lure of mine. I won't leave the dock without it. MirrOlure did a phenomenal job making this lure to where it mimics the bait fish exactly, almost. And I've caught probably more fish on this lure in the last 3 or 4 years than just about any lure out there. And I like the chartreuse color. This is one of my favorite colors. Man, you can catch anything on this lure. Speckled trout, redfish, bluefish, Spanish mackerel, snook. If you live in South Florida, I mean, the list goes on. I've even caught tarpon on this lure before. I mean, it is a phenomenal, phenomenal lure, and I highly recommend you having this in your inshore arsenal. Now, let's talk about the second lure, and this is another one I never leave home without, because there's so many situations that come up that you need this lure, and this is a Berkley Gulp. Now, you can use the shrimp, you can use the jerk shad, or you can use the swimming mullet. It don't matter. They all work well. I've got the jerk shad right here. I always like a brighter color with the Berkley Gulp, but there's so many situations you can use this in. I can pitch docks with it. I can pitch deep water structure. I can swim it through the flats weightless. I can sight fish the beach with it. You know, I can fish schooling redfish with it out in the middle of the bay. There's so many situations that come up where I'm going to need this Berkeley Gulp jerk shad. And it's a great search bait too. If you just want to put on a bait and go chunking and cast lures, this is a great search bait as well. Highly recommend having some Berkeley Gulp in the arsenal. Now, before I get to my next 3 lures, I do want to talk to you guys about the giveaway. So what I'm doing, guys, is all these lures that I have today, these are going to be, I'm giving all these away. They're brand new in the package. It's like $40 worth of lures here. So I'm giving those away, and I'm also going to give away an Angler Up decal. Now, if you haven't seen my decals that I make, this is them right here. Here's me putting one on a truck the other day. Check it out. So that's the decal. Now, if you just want to purchase a decal for yourself, if you like them, they're linked in the description below. Also, all of these lures that I'm showing you guys today, they're linked in the description below as well. But I am going to do a giveaway. So one lucky winner out there is going to get all of this stuff. And I'm doing this because of my 10,000 subscribers. I hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm doing this as a thank you to you guys for getting me to 10,000, because I couldn't do it without you. And I really, really appreciate the support along the way. So let's talk about how to enter the giveaway now. A lot of you guys have been asking about my social media. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook is all linked in the description below. What I'm doing, I just posted a post on Instagram, on my Instagram. If you guys will go down below, follow my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram that's linked below, and then comment on the post that I just made on Instagram. Just comment "done," like you've done it. That enters you in the contest. And then and then I will pick a winner tomorrow at some time. And I'll send you a direct message on Instagram, and then you can send me your address, and I'll send you this package full of baits. So it's pretty simple. Go follow me on my social media sites, comment "done" on my Instagram post that I just posted, and then you're entered in the contest. So now let's talk about our third lure. Now this third lure is something that I feel is one of the most underrated lures, inshore lures on the market, and this is a popping cork. Now, when you think of inshore fishermen, you think of them throwing lures, throwing jerk shad, mirrodine. You don't really think of the popping cork. But year in and year out, I catch just as many or more fish on this popping cork rig as I catch on anything. And you can throw this popping cork rig in a number of different situations and be successful. And what I like to do is just take a 2-foot fluorocarbon leader and tie it to the end of this popping cork, and then you can put live bait on the end of it. You can put a circle hook and put a live shrimp or a live pilchard or something on the end of it. Or you could put a jig head with a Berkeley Gulp shrimp on the back, which is what I do a lot. So I'll throw this popping cork with a Berkeley Gulp shrimp in shallow water over the grass flats or in the sawgrass or whatever I'm fishing. A lot of guys in Louisiana and Texas use this rig. It's really popular over there. So this is something that I highly recommend you have in your arsenal as well. Anytime you're fishing shallow water structure, rocks and stuff like that, this works great over rocks. This one here is made by Cajun Thunder. It is this is probably the biggest brand popping cork that they make. It's a high quality popping cork, and I highly recommend Cajun Thunder. Now let's talk about number 4. Now this is the 4th lure, and man, I highly recommend this lure. Now this is an old school lure, and you'll see me using it in a bunch of different videos. And this is the Rapala Husky Jerk. Now this lure has been around forever, and it's, you know, a lot of people have turned away from using it because there's other stuff to use now that's similar, like the Yozuri. But man, this Rapala Husky Jerk, I catch a ton of fish on throughout the year. You can watch my videos. I've linked a couple of my videos below that I've used the Rapala Husky Jerk and been successful, just so you can check them out. But man, this is a go-to lure. The only place that I've ever been able to find this Rapala Husky Jerk is on Amazon or Walmart. So I've linked the Amazon link in my description to the Rapala Husky Jerk, but you can also, I think, get them at some Walmarts. But man, any situation this works good. Throwing grass, throwing mud bottom, sand bottom, rocks, it doesn't matter. I've had a ton of success with a bunch of different species, from largemouth bass, speckled trout, redfish, it does not matter. Barracuda, I've caught a bunch of barracuda on it, striped bass. So you can get a lot of different species on this Rapala Husky Jerk. I highly, highly recommend it. Now, this is the final lure, and one reason that I'm throwing this lure in here is because it's a topwater lure, and I feel like a topwater lure is a must-have in your inshore arsenal because it works so well as a search bait. But also, man, they're a lot of fun, and fishing should be about fun. It shouldn't be all serious. When you see that big explosion on a topwater lure, man, there's nothing like it. So now this is a Rapala Skitter Walk. This is one of the most popular inshore topwater lures that they make. And man, if I go personal fish just for fun and I'm not videoing, man, I'll throw a topwater the whole time. I love topwater fishing. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of different inshore species that will hammer this topwater lure. Redfish, trout, snook, tarpon even. I've caught tarpon on this bait. Bluefish, Spanish mackerel, the jack crevalle, the list goes on. I love throwing a topwater plug. I highly recommend the Rapala Skitter Walk. It just has a great action to it when you're working it across the top of the water. So that's number 5. And these are my top 5 lures that you're going to see in my tackle arsenal at all time when I'm inshore fishing. And this is something that I never leave home without. And I highly recommend you don't either. Stop, and if I can give you any advice at all, it's to stop over analyzing lure selection and start trying to locate fish. Because if you can locate fish, the lure does not matter near as much. What matters is finding the fish, learning the water, learning good water versus bad water. Because bad water, you're wasting your time. How many times have you been out fishing, you're like, man, I got skunked? You're fishing bad water. If you get skunked, it's because you're fishing water where there's no fish. They are always biting somewhere. Now, yeah, sure, some days they bite better than others, obviously, but fish are always biting somewhere. You're just in the wrong water. And if you can learn the tides, learn different patterns, keep a log. Keep a log is when you catch fish, how you catch fish, what was the weather doing, what was the tide doing, and eventually you'll gain enough experience that you'll be able to eliminate all this bad water, go straight to the good water, and have way more success. Guys, if you love this little mini lure seminar and you'd like for me to give you some more tips on anything fishing related, comment below, because it's so easy for me to sit in the house like this and go over different tips and tricks that can help you guys out. Comment below what you want to see. Because, man, I'm going to start doing these every week because I can't always get out and go fishing because the weather's not always great. So comment below what you want to see, and I'll definitely keep doing some more. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Shoot me a thumbs up if you did, and you guys have a great week.